The world used to get by with only a handful of databases. Trusty relational workhorses like Oracle, SQL Server, Ingress, and DB2. However, open source crushed the party with MySQL. A bit later, NoSQL database hit the market with the likes of MongoDB, Redis, and Apache Cassandra growing in popularity. We reached to a point right now where in 2022, there's about 398 databases out there. So where does NiFi fits in this picture? Well, Apache NiFi automates the movement of data between disparate data sources and systems, making data ingestion fast, easy, and secure. It is source agnostic. It supports a different type of system and distributed sources of different formats, schemas, protocols. So let's go and demonstrate this. Before we jump on a canvas, we have to set up some resources. So make sure you go ahead and download the GitHub repository that you're going to find in your video description. This will give you access to all the resources that we're going to use, including the JDBC URL, the driver class, and the driver location for you to download, in this case for MySQL and for Postgres. And finally, at the end, you're going to get a import parameter context command that will allow us to import the configuration for our connection straight from a configuration file. Also, the configuration file or the parameter context definition is found at this particular folder in the same GitHub location. We have the MySQL config and the Postgres config. In my case, this is populated with the value that I have installed on my local host MySQL and local host Postgres. And as you can see, we have a name, a description, and a list of parameters. Each parameters contain 4 key value pair: name, description, sensitive, if it's sensitive or not, and the value. In my case, I have my drivers directory, my database name, database port, database host, database user, database driver class, which is the class name, the database driver file, the database user path. All of this parameter context will be passed to, knowing that you downloaded everything onto your local host and now all your drivers are in the right location, as I have in my. I do have my 2 drivers on. First thing we're going to do when you open the NiFi canvas, we're going to drag on the canvas a process group, and we're going to call it DB connection. Let's navigate inside it, enter, and let's create a new process group. And this one is going to be my MySQL connection. Great. Save it. Let's import the parameter contexts. If we navigate to our parameter context menu, we can see that we only have one parameter context, which is called inherit, but this is not the one we want to use. So let's go to our GitHub repo README page, and down at the bottom, once you're going to clone the repo onto your local, make sure you navigate to this particular directory and then run this command once you log into your NiFi Toolkit client. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to run this NiFi Toolkit client with my sudo. My client location is at NiFi Toolkit bin cli.sh. If you haven't installed this, make sure you follow up the videos on how to set up your local environment. I put the link in the description. Now we are here. Let's first run the creation of the first parameter context group, which is for my MySQL config one. Great, so 2 of them, they are created. Let's jump back into our NiFi canvas. So at the moment if we refresh and we go to parameter context, we can see they show up here. And if I'll browse one of them, we can see we have all the properties that we described in GitHub. And also, by the way, as a note, make sure you figure this property to fit your environment. But at this point, our processing group, it doesn't have allocated a parameter context. So what we're going to do next, we're going to make sure that my MySQL process group, it's linked to this particular parameter context. And let's apply. Next thing, what we're going to do, we are going to use a controller service for our connection with a database. DBC connection pool. This is the controller that we are going to use. Click OK. It will come into an invalid state because we are missing some properties. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to touch only on a couple of properties here. We're going to explain what the connection URL is, the driver class, the driver location, the user, and the password. And if you remember, we have all of those exposed as parameter context values. So let's go ahead into our GitHub repo and copy the URL. Pretty much copy it as you see it. If you see here, I have the hash identifiers, which make reference to our existing parameter context values. So all I need to do is copy and paste it here. Now to get the driver class name, type hash, open curly brace, control tab, control space, sorry, and select the particular parameter context that reflects the value you are asking to input. So right now, driver class name, that's our parameter. And now the location of the driver. So we have a combination of drivers directory combined with driver file. Press enter. Let's add the user. In this case is going to be db user. Press enter, and the password. Since we set it as sensitive, this will show us no value, and the rest we're going to leave it as it is. Press apply, and then here we want to go and enable it. Now there are no referencing components because we haven't used this controllers now. So let's go on our canvas and let's add an ExecuteSQL command. Basically, the ExecuteSQL will take a connection, a database connection, and will run a SQL against that connection. So we're going to, from the drop-down menu, we're going to select the connection we just created. So we can see that the connection name, it's this. To do a better job, let's go ahead and edit this connection name. Let's add the query. In my case, if I'll go back to my database, what I did here, I've created a local database in MySQL called demo with a table ABC. And for the purpose of this demo, what I will do, I will add a new record because at the moment we do not have any data. So let's insert some data into this table. Now let's check if the data is inserted. Yes, we do have a record. Now let's go ahead and copy this command and let's paste it in NiFi. Basically, this is going to be our test command. So the way you do it, you populate SQL select query property with the query you wanted to execute. Also, as a note, this one accepts version language and parameter context values. So you can have a query that is passed through a configuration approach. The rest is going to stay the same. Let's apply. And let's add on a canvas a log attribute processor just for us to log the output of this command. So we're going to relation success separate with and failure diff on a separate connection. Let's execute this once. Right, so you see we have a success. So our connectivity to our MySQL database was a success. Let's review the queue. If we look here, we can see it looks a bit gibberish. The reason is that the output format of the SQL command, ExecuteSQL, it's always an arrow. You can even see here the content, it's arrow binary. If you want to format it, it's a list that is returned. How do we make this a JSON without having to use this UI to format? So we have an out-of-the-box processor called arrow to JSON. You can put it to Parquet, to org, but for now, let's use this to and have it to JSON. And let's route it to log attribute on success. And we're going to terminate it on failure. Jump inside. There are no changes required here. We're going to leave it as it is. Run it and let's review the content. Look at it. It's straight JSON. Easy to process, easy to do something downstream. All right, great. Now, let's see how we can take advantage of our parameter context and the templating capability in NiFi to replicate this flow and say, okay, create MySQL. Once the template is saved, let's drag on the canvas the template here. On the drop down, we're going to choose the template that we want to restore. And we're going to, it's going to come with a copy of the MySQL connection. So here what we're going to do, we're going to change the name. We're going to go to General, assign the Postgres parameter context, apply, and OK. And if you see in the controller settings, he already comes with a MySQL controller. Let's go ahead and do the same for this one. Let's go ahead and change it. And if we look over the properties here, we can see that they're pre-populated. The only value that will not be pre-populated when you work with the template is the sensitive value. So let's go ahead and set the sensitive value to db user pass enable controller. Now let's go to our ExecuteSQL. See, we're getting an error saying, hey, connection pooling service validated, it's invalid. We can see that the controller said it's no suitable driver. The reason that is, when we restore from template, the JDBC URL differs. So let's go ahead and change that. Probably that's a value that we can have it as a dynamic value. So if you look here, this needs to be changed. So if you go back to your GitHub page, you can see that the URL should use Postgres. It's the same structure as MySQL. Let's apply, save it, and let's enable it. Let's run this one. We can see we got a successful. Let's convert JSON to JSON. And let's review the payload. So we can see we have an empty list. That is a wrap for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this content, and I'll see you next time.